and let's get right into it.
Okay. How long,
So much.
with
Go
everything
on.
that's going on in the UK government right now, how long do you think
Yeah.
Starmer has? Because there's rumours that he'll be sacked before Tuesday.
Well, I've heard from one TikTok creator that he's going to be sacked by Christmas. But however, I would say that from the moment he's been elected, he'll be leader of the party for at least a year or two. Only because there's a big majority and not many people speaking out. The only few that are speaking out have said, I'm quitting the party, and those who have spoken out, well, I think it's self-explanatory about some of these
The public
Labour
already
MPs.
hate him enough. There's 300,000 people petitioning for him to be sacked. The media's going on for him, right? Going after him, right? More and more things are getting leaked out. The fact he supposedly was using Ali's apartment during COVID, right?
Yeah.
The fact that he's now apparently been given more clothes by Ali, and the fact that Ali supposedly has links to the Assad or something like this. I never this Muslim like government, foreign government, other stuff. And there's questions the fact that maybe he might actually be in a sexual relationship with this man. Just because he's been spending a shitload of time at that apartment. And the fact is that if you look at the picture of him kissing his wife, right, it doesn't look like he's comfortable doing that, or he actually ever kissed a woman in that, with some of those images in that as well. So who knows?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Who
It's
knows?
hard to argue with that.
I don't know what will happen. I can guarantee you. But I can see Labour. There's already MPs turning on it. Members have left his party.
Yeah, I've heard that one Labour MP had said she had left the party because of the quote freebies that the cabinet has been getting, at least
Yeah.
Starmer, Rayner, Reeves. That's at least
Streeting,
what I've heard.
West Streeting as well, and that Lamy guy. He's been taking money as well. They all have. They've also all been meeting. All the government leaders have been meeting Trump at Trump Tower. So what does that mean? Does it mean that they're kowtowing because they realise Trump is getting re-elected, or is it because they hoping that he can fricking solve the peace, get him out of this situation they're in? Peace.
Well, Donald Trump is a businessman. He knows how to get business done. And whether or not people like him, he has the experience. Now that's something no one could ever argue with.
Well, he's around the country and he did it pretty successfully.
Yeah. And of course, he had experience being in the presidential office, talking to world leaders, so at least we know
Even
what he's
before he
like.
was elected, he was still talking to world leaders. He's a businessman. His chains and that would have done extremely well before, or he's had experience dealing with our officials. Maybe not the prime minister level, but he was dealing with officials because that was his job, trying to get deals. Looks like we're going for a wider conflict in the Middle East.
Yeah.
Do you think they're going to conscript the British troops to fight in the Middle East?
It is a possibility, but however, they're not.
The public
gonna
won't allow it. They'll tell them to go fuck themselves.
Yeah, they're not gonna. They're not. I don't think the public would be so pleased to hey, we want you to fight in the Middle East.
Yeah, so you fucking taking money from people. 11 billion for climate aid, right? You could simply just get rid of that, right? And use half that money, well, you want to spend 11 billion in climate aid, right? No offense. That 11 billion could be used, that 11 billion there could probably help fill part of the fucking budget restraints. Why do we need to donate 11 billion to climate change, right? Why can't we just spend 1 billion? Or even a couple 100 million.
Yeah, and also, if people do care about the climate, why they just do it themselves? Why they're relying on governments to do that? I don't get that. If you care about something, do it yourself.
Better subsidies for EVs. I don't want the government to invest in better subsidies. I don't want to buy an ICE vehicle, a gas vehicle. I don't want to buy an EV. They're unreliable. They cost too much. And honestly, I've done the math. I think they end up costing you more than what a gas vehicle will ever cost you. Not to mention, it's less reliable. It's easier for them to control and manipulate. I see why governments want it, because it gives them more power over the citizens. Why should we want them though? Because they're geo-fenced, they're geo-controlled. Effectively, they've got tech in them, but effectively, if you do something they do not like, they can just drive you to the police station. Lock the car and drive you to the police station.
That's wild.
Yeah.
And also,
But it's the truth, though. These cars are going to be self-drivable, right? They're not
Yeah.
going to be. You're not going to be able to control the car. You won't effectively be driving the car. The car will be driving itself. So let's say you criticize the state, right? They just drive the car to your fucking police station,
and boom,
lock
you
the
got
car, and
arrested.
wait until someone fucking come. Wait until they get.
Yeah, and also, like decades ago, or at least a century ago, electric cars had existed and actually a lot better than the electric cars of today. So
The
what
reason why they
gives?
went away was because, quite honestly, they're not that great. They're shite. They're slow. They're not that bit great. Not to mention that they think, oh, but it's better for the environment. It's not better for the environment. Do you see the amount of shit you have to put in, shit you have to chemicals, shit you have to do? There's batteries of electric vehicles that are in gardens.
Also, those
They can't be
batteries
used.
could possibly be imploded, or they're prone to
Yes,
explode.
they're easier to implode and bomb. They're effectively a ticking time bomb. But yeah,
And also, if people are going to make electric cars, there has to be another alternative fuel source like H2O.
I don't want hydrogen because I think hydrogen's a fucking scam, right? I think hydrogen's a waste of money, right? I want to do oil, right? Or come up with some synthetic fuel thing, right? But it's cheaper. A lot
Well,
of these companies gave up on hydrogen, right? But
they're still wanting it.
yes,
Well, when I was in Brazil, when I visited family in Brazil, there is some kind of alternative fuel that takes like substance from sugar canes. It's called kerosene. It's kind of like the closest alternative fuel that, from what I've seen, is beneficial and actually is a lot cheaper than gasoline, from what
why
I've
do you not
seen.
literally just don't use water as a fuel source, right? It's quite easy. Purify water. Tons of water, we purify it, and then we make it use it as a substance. Use it as a thing to power our vehicles. I also don't like wind farms. They're unreliable. If we transition to the grid now, we'd be fucking despotus. Millions and millions of people would die. Billions of people would die. The state, I can see Starmer's government cracking down on farmers, right? And basically restricting freedoms of farmers, right? And effectively limiting what you can grow, right? To the point where they're literally going to own the full production of farming. And that's never been good. When the states own that, countries have fucking suffered. But yeah. So what else is there?
Well, I've sent something in the chat last night in regards to a message that popped up when I was in one of these Discord servers. What are they trying to tell me? That's what I want to know. Okay, so this message, it read, this user is under surveillance by the Interpol and by the United States Federal Bureau of Investigation Cyberwatch Unit. What I want to know is, what have I done that has caused so much of a fuss for those people involved?
Exposing shit they don't not like. Or you've gotten yourself on a terrorist watch list.
Dang, that's wild. And also,
Why have you been under surveillance by Interpol? What the fuck have you done?
I don't know, but that's not all.
Should you be expected to be arrested? Have you seen me? Have I got that on?
No, I'm not sure about that, but I think for now you'll be alright, even though
I'm not in servers.
you said a lot of stuff, but they're going after me all of a sudden. So, and also, it's not just them two. I also sent another message today. Now, the United Kingdom Security Service MI5 is included in that message. Last time I sent something today. I don't know.
Is it because we've criticised Starmer?
I mean, that would be it wouldn't be too far off, but that can't be the exact reason.
Is it
There
because
could
of your
be something
views
else
on like
that's
what
outside.
happened in the riots?
Oh gosh, I don't know, man. It's crazy.
Am I on the watch lists?
I don't know. Why don't you type something in a Discord server and see if that message pops up for you?
I'm not going to try it. I'm just going to stay naive.
You're not taking the risk. No. That's mental.
Should we be expecting you to be arrested soon?
Well, if I was going to, we wouldn't be doing this episode. It's just, I assume it's just a warning.
What, to shut up?
Yes, to shut my mouth.
Shut my mouth, don't talk about things, don't question the state. Or we're going to fucking arrest you. What the fuck?
Oh my gosh. I don't get that, man. But hey, life's life. Go with it.
Are they scared because... you haven't been as critical as I have of World War II, right? In the Jews. So have you?
No, I don't think I have been
I've
critical.
questioned them, and I've stated.
Yeah,
I
you
I
sure
think
have been questioning
I
them.
don't think Hitler was that bad of a guy. And I don't. Like, realistically, people say Germany's so bad, but they don't talk about what the fuck drove them to that. It's always, a country overnight doesn't choose to elect a tyrant, a guy like him, unless they're fucking forced to. Or feel like they're backed into a corner.
Life's
You don't know.
crazy.
So that was last night, wasn't it?
Yeah, last night I was sending a message, I was texting in one of the Discord servers, and that message popped up saying, I've been surveillanced by the big boys, internationally. What?
Interpol.
Yes.
For what?
I don't,
You
I've
don't
been
look like
through
a
this, I
criminal.
don't know what's going on.
You don't look like a criminal. You haven't committed any crimes as far as I'm aware. And Interpol's a fucking
No, there's no
serious
way.
organisation.
That's mental.
Interpol's a serious organisation, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, there's no way they
Why are
could
they
just...
trying to make you look like some fucking evil bad guy here? Like,
I mean,
he's a
it
terrorist.
could-
You should probably be concerned of talking to the bloke.
Well, if that was the case, then that's
Did
kind
that
of
show up for
genius.
anybody else or just you?
I don't know anyone else that's been in this situation.
That's weird.
Although,
If that doesn't prove that we're being watched, I don't know what is.
there have been a few other people in another survey in regards to loop.lol, that Vine recreation, that the recreation of Vine. They also had that.
Why?
I don't
Well, for
know,
creating
but
content.
it's just, I did
So they're actually
I don't
going
know.
after conservatives.
There's no way these people could ever be such a concern. No,
Yeah, what? Who would?
honestly, I think it's just a warning. If they were very worried, they would have done something by now. We wouldn't have
They
this
were
episode.
worried they would have fucking arrested you and stormed your house, mate.
Yes. However,
It's a threat.
It's
a veiled threat. And they're cunts.
it has to be.
But they don't even tell you what you fucking done wrong. Was it questioning the state? Was it questioning the government? Or was it saying that two-tier Keir might be gay? Or homo? Is it saying that we need to stop mass immigration? Is it calling out is it calling Davos out on their shit? Is it talking about how the fact that every government is it for talking about the city? Is it because you and me talked about the city of London?
Most of which are likely. However, they'll never say. We said so much. They'll say, okay, you did that. Did what?
Oh, the city of London.
Exactly.
Was it talking
You did
about the city
something,
of
but
London?
we don't
Was
going
it
to tell
talking
you.
about the fact that America is effectively just Britain in disguise? Is it the fact that literally is it because we talked about Five Eyes? Is it the fact that we talked about the central banks and the Rothschilds own all the money?
Or the fact
Jews
that
run the world? Like what is it?
what about the time Donald Trump defended Michael Jackson while Kamala Harris back when she was district attorney or she was
Is
head
that
prosecution?
the reason? So why? Explain that to me. Why did Kamala Harris go after Michael Jackson, and why was Trump the only one defending him?
Well,
And then now he's facing Kamala Harris as a political opponent.
well, you know what they say. Everything happens for a reason, and they know exactly what they are expecting. Reactions out of people. It's all coming together neatly, like a stack of dominoes.
Haven't got anything. I just posted something in a Discord chat. I haven't seen anything.
All right. When that message popped up, it only applied to when I was in a public Discord server in a public chat.
I'm not even going to wonder. It's not worth my time discussing. So that means if you try and leave the country and go abroad, right? What does that mean? Does that mean you're going to get stopped, searched, sent to jail?
Okay, not sent to jail, but the first few, what you said, is likely. Although they're not going to make it too obvious.
Know that you've been fucking put on Interpol.
I think I would have known that.
I don't think they would tell you. The fact, why the hell would that is concerning, but what it is. So what else is there? So we can't talk about certain topics on here in case of us worrying and making our situation worse.
Look, I'll tell you right now, for years, I've known so many people and had so many connections that I've known from close friends and close family, so whatever happens, all I have to do is do what Donald Trump does in negotiations with world leaders. Go with the flow and hope for the best. This is crazy.
Yep.
Yeah, that's mental.
I guess it's just what it is.
And it was what it was.
Again, if it was that fucking desperate, they would have fucking invaded your house. They know exactly where you live. They know
Yeah.
exactly where you live. They know exactly what you're doing at this time of day, and they probably record your face right now, mate.
Yeah, and I think a
They
lot
know
of my family would
exactly
know
where
about
you
this,
are.
but
If
they
they were
don't.
that fucking desperate, it's a vague threat. If they were that fucking desperate, they would have fucking arrested you by now, mate.
Yeah.
They would have. That is fucking wild. They would have.
Yeah.
The fact that you're on an Interpol list is hilarious, but the fact is, that was shit that you said, right?
Yeah.
What things that you've criticised them on?
Yeah, and I've showcased a lot of content on social media regarding subjects that the elites do not want people to know about.
So let's talk about some of this stuff then.
Alright then.
To a
So,
certain extent, but if you feel like you're going too far, stop.
alright. I'm confident I will get through this.
Good.
Okay, so today, this afternoon, I've sent a video about a Serbian Christian that was banned for 5 months from doing sign of the cross at the Olympics, this year's Olympics.
But yeah. Well, the Olympics was doing demon displays of demonism, and they were called out by religious Christian countries. Even the fucking Pope criticised it. That it was a mockery of God. Supposedly, in certain regions in Islam countries, right, there's Christians it's Christians coming right. A lot of Christians are coming back and building and growing in certain countries, in Muslim countries. Did you know the Bible is banned in certain Muslim countries?
Yeah, I'm aware of that.
Why is it banned?
Well, well,
Because it's
if
conflicting their views, and maybe it makes them look like fake idols.
that's one reason. Another reason could be that they want to
Have a
allow
monopoly on religion.
accessibility to Qurans over other religious texts, to withhold the religious culture in those countries.
Sounds like trying to gatekeep, but sure.
Well, yeah, of course. They want to gatekeep whatever is part of their culture and is mostly associated and identified with those countries.
I think we were the wrong. I don't think it'll end well. I actually don't think Russia's that bad of a country. I think they actually have a better standard of living in certain parts of Russia than they do in America.
Yeah, I've seen the metro subway, and man,
I've seen the
so
metro
gorgeous,
subway,
so
but
clean.
they're just touristy spots. You go to an actually Russian town, I actually think they live a better standard of living.
Yeah, I agree. The Russian subway is so clean and so classical, unlike the subways in New York or whatever Western city in the world. That's just mental. 6 hours later. Yeah, well, anyway, what else? Oh yes, Haktua girl.
You mean the Jewish girl that literally had her history wiped by a rich mom, a rich daddy, a rich father?
You know what they say? If you have enough money and all the right connections,
Yes.
you can do and get away with anything.
You know that personally, personal experience.
Yes, I know from
If you have
experience.
enough money, you can fucking manipulate you can buy politicians. You can buy them in your pocket. I wouldn't be as stupid as Lord Ali though. He's a fucking moron. If you're going to buy a politician, why the fuck would you be so brazen about it?
Well, if they
Ali's a
weren't,
fucking idiot. If I was going to buy a politician, I wouldn't be doing it personally in my own fucking name. What type of fucking retard does that? Why would you buy a politician in your own name? If you're going to do that, you would do it for dark money, and you would effectively do it. You wouldn't even have your name written on it, and you'd be it through like it would be mysteriously and anonymously. Not anonymously, but it would be used through fucking lawyers and that, right? Representing clients. And it'd be private dark money. Why the hell would you put your name to that? That's just asking to be freaking seized. Have the state investigate you. The guy's a moron. If you're going to freaking buy a politician, you need to do it in the dark. You need to do it mysteriously and manipulatively. You have to do it in the shadows. You don't do it out in the open. Because that gives people to criticize. That allows people to criticize. That allows it to be in the open, and it doesn't benefit anyone. It doesn't benefit the politician. It doesn't benefit you. It shines light on you and effectively can make you be a target. The guy's
absolutely.
either a freaking moron or he's that much of a fucking ideal. But either he's a moron, he's an idiot, or quite honestly, he was just not thinking it through. Why would you make yourself an open target? Why would you need to do it in the private? Why would you need to do it in private? And why would you need to do it? Why would you do it in your own name? Why would you need to have it done through an LLC or a corporation lobbying a firm? There's plenty of offshore offshore companies that lobby governments through private entities. And then it can't be traced back to you. Oh, it's a private government, but it's a trust or a charity or a company. It's not tied to one person, and he's not going to face the brunt of it. He's an idiot. What else?
Yeah, New York City Mayor Eric Adams.
I actually feel sorry for the bloke.
Yeah, I do too. Like,
The Republicans are going to say bad things about him, but right, he believed in his party all along, right? I'm not saying he wasn't corrupt. He believed in his party all along, right? And then he started to criticize the party, right, for its lax handling of situations, right? And then he gets punished for it. It kind of just feels like the guy's a scapegoat for something.
yeah.
Feel for him. I still think he's an idiot, but a leftist shill, but I feel sorry for the bloke. Like, he didn't expect it. He thought he was doing what's right, right? There's other mayors, right, are doing what's right, right? And then telling their constituents to vote Trump. In Chicago, right? In other states, right? You think Adams will endorse Trump?
It's debatable, because on one
He's one of
hand,
the only guys that's trying to fix things.
yeah, that's true. On one hand, party affiliation could be a conflict, but on the other hand, he has stand on whatever issues is going on in New York City, and of course, this is where we got to today, and yeah, so many New York
They hate
officials.
it, but they hate Trump, but I think he's a high chance at flipping New York. I think there's record turnout. I think if he can get record turnout in the city of New York, I think he has a high chance at flipping it, making the state go red. I'm not saying he would keep the state after that, but I think he would have a high chance at flipping New York red. But who knows? Supposedly those voting machines can be hacked quite easily. Because what was it? PBD, Value Entertainment, effectively, Patrick Bat-David, he had a guy that was basically showing how, in real time, showing how vulnerable those freaking voting machines are in America.
Oh, I knew that a long time ago, especially during the election between Obama and Mitt Romney.
Faithy still believes that Romney actually won, and they lied. A lot of people still believe that.
Really? Faithy thinks that Romney has won?
I think, and she doesn't believe that Obama won in certain aspects. I don't think Obama won either, to be honest with you. The amount of votes he won, I don't think he won a lot of the amount. He might have won, but I don't think he won by the votes he said he won by. And I think it's a lot closer than you think.
Oh, okay, that is very telling.
Yeah, she still wants to vote for Kamala Harris. Even if I don't get why.
Yeah, like if she believed that Mitt Romney had won that election, going for Kamala Harris this election, I'm actually curious of what her views could be. If
she's very liberal on certain things, but she is very conservative on gun laws. She believes that
liberal on one, but conservative on others. Okay.
She's not a Democrat or Republican. She's an independent. But this time, she's voting on Trump. We're voting Kamala simply for parental rights and being for birth control rights. She wants to have the ability to be able to abort babies, which I don't agree with. As a man, I think it's ridiculous. That, and she also believes that Kamala will support minorities and certain minorities in that. Even though Democrats are known to freaking put illegals before Americans. There's also a couple of Americans that are supportive of like freaking annexing like freaking the Haiti. If I'm being honest, I would be optimistic. I would be happy to annex Haiti and Dominican Republic and make it a state. If I'm being honest, I'd probably be happy to annex most of Central America, for America to annex most of Central America. I'd be happy for America to take over Mexico as well. At this point, most of Central America, and ask them if they want to join. Any of the South American states or the Central American states would be willing to join America, join the American Union.
I know one that wouldn't be happy doing that.
Which one?
Come on, Risk. You know what
Brazil?
country that would be. No, not Brazil.
Mexico?
No.
Haiti?
No.
Cuba?
No.
Nicaragua? Panama?
No.
El Salvador?
Think South America.
Guatemala?
Nope. You already said Brazil.
Cuba?
You already said
Actually, no.
Cuba.
Colombia,
You're getting close. You're actually getting close.
Ghana,
No. When you say
Trinidad,
Cuba, there's a
Tobago,
country.
Trinidad,
When you say Cuba, no. When you say Colombia, there was a country next to it. That's actually what I'm talking about.
Dominican Republic. Well,
No.
Haiti's another one.
I think you already said Haiti. It's Venezuela.
Why do Venezuela hate them?
Well, firstly, oil. Oil was a hot topic between the two countries, and secondly, the current government of Venezuela and arguably current government of the United States. I'm not saying they have different ideological views. However, the two countries have been critical in the past.
One's a liberal and one's a conservative.
No comment.
One's a communist and one's a liberal.
Yeah, you can say that. That's all.
Again, realistically, those countries in Central America are too small. What they should do is create a union state, create a bigger state, create a Central America, the United States of Central America or something like that, or the Republic of Central America. I also think South America should just become one state as well.
But it'd be very big to govern, though.
No more bigger than America.
Oh, right. So the subdivisions in South America
I'm not
are all
saying
independent states.
there has to be thing, but I'm saying I can say that I think there should be 2-3 countries in South America, right? We have one El Salvador and all Trinidad and all those states that, right? I think they in Colombia and all those, right? All the ones on the top of South America, right? We can go in South America, right? All the ones at the top of South America should be one of their states, right? Should be their own country. Brazil should be its own one. Paraguay and Uruguay should effectively just become part of Brazil. And what's at the bottom should effectively be Argentina. And I think Chile should effectively just become part of... Chile should basically just become part of Argentina. Or it can become... No. There's too many countries in South America. There's too many countries in America. I think realistically, Mexico is too small to be its own country. It should affect...
Alright then.
Africa needs to. I think Africa could do some consolidation here. I think Africa could do some consolidation. Maybe we have the top bit where Egypt is, be its own country. We have the top one with a tiny nation. When we have like maybe the countries near Morocco and effectively down at the bottom, with the desert bits, should be their own country. Everything from South America, Africa should be its own bit, and basically the territory near Egypt should be territory near Ethiopia should be its own. I think Ethiopia should be the head country of a new union. I think South Africa should be ahead of a new union. I think Morocco should be the head of another union, right? I think it should take Zanzibar, Ghana. What was it? I think DRC should be another one as well. Effectively, I think there should be 4 or 5 countries in Africa. If I'm being honest, I think Europe should conquer some more countries. I think Europe should be more centralized. The amount of countries that are in Europe, right, are too much. The major powers of countries, right? I think Britain should be a major power in it. I think France should be a major power. I think Germany should be a major power. And I think Russia should be a major power. Everybody else is effectively just cannon fodder and should just be merged by these 4 powers. Britain, France, Germany, Russia. Spain, I think, should just be gobbled up by France or Britain. Germany should effectively gobble up Poland and the rest of them, make them part of their nation. Ukraine should probably go, and Russia should just gobble up the rest of, Moldova, Ukraine, Romania, and yeah. So who do you think is going to be the next superpower soon?
Well, I have news for you.
Good.
The next superpowers, plural, is going to be the BRICS nations. Because BRICS has announced they're going to introduce their own internalized domestic currency amongst the nations, where each token or coin of the BRICS currency is going to be more valuable, they say, than the US dollar.
How long do you think it'll take before they just become one nation?
I say couple decades as the earliest.
Do you think it'll end up like the USSR, where China becomes part of Russia, or Russia? In that relationship, who becomes the main capital of the country? Is it China or is it Russia?
I think it more likely be Russia, because Russia is a country that's centrally more located on the global map.
Yeah.
And also, a few months ago, Russia has announced they're going to allow cryptocurrencies as a form of transactions within the country.
Compared to China, compared to America and Britain, their technology-wise in China is fucking astonishing. They make us look like fucking fossils.
That's just sad.
Americans, they don't really want to use a cashier, right? They want to still pay with cash, right, and cards, right? And they effectively want to pay effectively. They effectively still want someone to pack. In China, you're not going to get that. In most places in China, you have to use a digital app on a smartphone. If you want to enter a supermarket, you have to scan your phone before you even enter. Do you think the Chinese Communist government will fall?
No.
There's rumors saying that Xi Jinping might be ousted soon, replaced with someone else.
So who's going to take over for Xi Jinping?
There's plenty of officials. I'm sure they've got guys lined up. There's people saying, why does Xi Jinping should be the public face and the people behind the scenes should really run the show? The people of the Communist Party should run the show. So effectively, he'd effectively be the puppet master. Do you think UK could ever become a superpower again?
They may not be the biggest superpower, but they can be a superpower.
We're a global power right now, right? I would like to be a superpower again.
Well,
I would
the
like
thing
the country
is-
to be a superpower again. I would like China. I would like all our provinces to come back. I would like Canada to become.
Yeah.
I would like us to regain our empire. I would like Ireland to rejoin us as well. Because let's be real here.
Those were the days for the Brits.
Wouldn't they want to be a superpower? They can't do it without us, and we can't do it without them.
Yeah.
Doesn't
that is
Canada
true.
want to show Doesn't Canada want to show its brother that it can be better? It can outsmart and outplay America. I want Australia to join us as well.
The
I want
choice
the Atlantic nations to rejoin. We're missing something here. Britain's no longer as powerful as it once was because we broke our empire up.
And all the
Tanzania should be a
colonies.
thing. We need to regain New Zealand. We need to regain Australia. With all these countries, we'd have massive influence, and we send representatives to the freaking point. Do you think Do you think in our lifetime that Britain could reform the empire
You know, there is a way
through
for
a
Britain
diplomatic
to
law?
There is a way, actually, yeah. The thing is, it has to be in a new structure, in a new method. It has to be some kind of, well, how do I
where
put it?
where all the governments have a say in thing.
Yes, that's one aspect of it. I'm also thinking that there's clumps of lands in foreign nations where, although they follow laws of the country they currently stand in, the culture and the imports are going to those clumps of land where majority Brits are living in. That's likely to be the new form of empire that countries could potentially form.
Realistically, if we were to form one massive empire, right? Let's say we were to form a new empire, right? An Anglo-American empire. What would we include in America in that as well? Where would the capital be? Would it be America or would it be Britain?
Well, I think it comes down to what values the two countries share and promote it and embrace
What would
those
make the
similarities.
capital America? What would we make? But the capital of the entire country would be Britain, London specifically.
Isn't London the de facto financial capital with its financial institutions,
Yes.
with money that...
Yeah,
I see where you're going with this.
we control the world, and we never gave up our empire. They say, "Oh, we gave up our empire. We didn't lose shit. We gave up our territories, right? And we became a bank. We still hold the power
And all the
economically.
people's money. But
We control
the
the
thing
country's
is,
money, right? We effectively, yes, right? Yes, we gave it autonomy, right? But some of these countries that we gave autonomy about, right? A lot of them are satellite states, right? They still have our influence. We still control them. Likes of Canada, right? Satellite state. Country like America, satellite. Country like freaking Australia, satellite state.
India, also satellite,
Yes,
because
they're all
the East
satellite
India
states.
company,
Maybe not
yeah.
India, to a certain extent. Maybe not
Yeah,
India. But
India's it's a bit too big to be
India might not be a
dependent.
satellite state, right? But it is heavily influenced by us. Singapore, Malaysia, all these countries, right? They're still, when push comes to shove, right? And when the homeland is invaded, they'll still come to help us. They're not going to let Britain fall. Because to them, that'll still be the homeland. Do you think there's any chance that Ireland, Britain, the Ireland could become part of Britain again?
Not likely.
What have we promised the guys of literally becoming a superpower again?
There's got to be there has to be negotiations to be done.
Fine. What do you think they'd want?
Well, first off, the reason they became
Representation in
independent.
Parliament, reforms to Parliament. Let's say we elect people every 4 years. Let's say we elect people every 4 years. Even if the party gets kicked out, we automatically call a general election and we do election reform. We get rid of first past the post and we allow everybody to be votes that actually matter. And we also create a British Bill of Rights. And we make a distinction. We make Irish people part of our country. We make them a national citizen of our country. And we do this by shedding the past and coming together as a new. And symbolising, we would add their colours of the flag to our country. Red, white, and orange. Orange, white, and green, with a clover in the middle of it.
Oh, that'd be a nice touch.
I also think we should take Belgium as our country, but take Belgium as well.
How so?
It's always had good ties to Britain. Same with Portugal.
Oh yeah, Portugal and the UK
have
have a very long alliance.
I'd also be in favour of taking Iceland as well. It's too close to it. Iceland as well. That'd be an extra little territory we could have. It's too small. Realistically, would the UK survive a world? If it wasn't for our technology and nuclear power, right? Would the UK effectively survive in this world, or would it be invaded by someone else?
I think, regardless of what the UK has, I think there would have been enough manpower in the UK's military to fought off whatever comes their way.
There would be or there wouldn't be.
I'm saying nothing can stop the UK military. Even if
I would like to see us become a military power again. And I'd like to see America get rid of these pesky laws where we cannot fight and conquer land.
Well, bring that up with United Nations then.
I want to conquer. I want Britain. I want British Empire to come back. I want us to have our territory back. I want the country to have prestige. I want this country to mean something again. I want Australia back. I want Canada back. I want India back. I'm willing to give them autonomy. I'm willing to give them certain autonomy. I want them in our parliament. I want them to give them representation. I want to give them representation. I want to give them a vote. I think we'd be better off together when we'd be apart. I also think it would be nice to take Greenland as well.
Greenland.
Land and resources. Arctic Ocean. It'd give us some territory in North America. And I think we could build some very nice settlements in Greenland. It's realistically only 1 or 2 towns. Greenland could be a big, massive nation with tons of land.
That's true.
So what else, sir?
But yeah, Elon Musk is not invited to the top UK investment summit.
Two-tier Kier couldn't stand the fact that he called them out on the shit. It's fucking dumb. I suspect that cunt, right, that those cunts will effectively fuck up the deal to get a universal theme park in the UK. And that'll fucking take millions out of the fucking economy. Tourism. All because of fucking two-tier Kier and his fucking bullshit. He could cost us a fucking billions of dollars in tourism a year. And it's outside of London, right? It's just an hour outside of London, right? So you think people that come here to London, right? That would be good for fucking tourism, like people. It would be good for a local town, right? Not to mention it'd be good for it's got good links to freaking trains, right? So that'd be good days out for fucking British people on their Saturdays or Sundays off. Not to mention it'd be good for tourism because it's just an hour outside of London, right? People that come here visit London every single day for fucking tourism, right?
I guess so.
Yeah, it's just an hour outside of London, so just take a train. Let's take the train. Then more effectively, and then they literally spend the day at Universal. They shop at the local wares. They buy clothing. They buy chocolates. They buy whatever from Universal. They buy the candy. They play on the rides. Harry Potter World's massive for British tourism. It's done wonders for this country. Same with the alcohol industry in golf. People love to come here to play golf. They also love to go to the whiskey distilleries that we've got here in Scotland. There are people that come just here to see the whiskey distilleries and the landscapes. Do you think Scotland will ever become independent? I honestly don't think it's a good idea.
Unfortunately, it's not.
Good. fucking good. The country can't afford it. There'll be black holes. Nor do I fucking trust the SNP to fucking do shit. I didn't even vote for them. I voted for them once when I was younger, but
Not anymore.
yeah, why the hell would you vote for them? They're just as bad as Labour. They're even being grilled at the fucking same shit with the cost of living crisis, right? And they don't have anything to blame, and they can't blame Tories, right? Because they've been in power for fucking 14 years. They've been in consistent government probably even longer than Labour.
That's wild.
They've been here, so they can't complain. They've been here for so long, right? You could effectively question us a one-party state. They've had so much power in this country for so long, and they've been elected for so long, right? They've been elected for 18 years, right? They can't blame the Tories. Oh, it's the Tories' fault. How can you blame them? You're the ones fucking running the country. Oh, it's Labour's fault. You can't blame them because you're the ones running the country. You've been running the fucking shit show for 18 years.
Devolution is a thing. You have some powers that you can control.
They have some powers, but at the end of the day, they take a massive budget from Downing Street as well. There's limits to how much they can do. Nor do I honestly think that we'd be better off on our own, if I'm being honest. I'm not sure. All these people that think that, we get to keep the nukes. Do you really think the United Nations and America would allow us to keep our nukes? Be realistic.
Are they even going to use those nukes at all?
Again, they'll make the case, why would you need nukes? We're Britain. You got Britain near you. Fuck off.
And if you do have nukes, it's not like going to use them.
Yeah.
When did the last time nukes were even used? Before a treaty was signed preventing the use of them.
Again, do they honestly think that we'd get to keep our nukes? America's made it blatantly clear they don't respect Scotland's independence, and they would never want it. And the EU clearly make clear that they don't care about Scotland's independence, and they don't care. There's no case for it. Let's be real here. Just stay with UK, become one country, effectively become one country. I don't see the reason why we even need a devolved government. Right? Again, I don't see why we needed a devolved government. Why couldn't we just have MPs sent to fucking London? Why did we need a devolved government? I just think it's a waste. Why does Scotland need a devolved government? Why can't we literally just be one government? Most Scots here believe themselves as people of Britain. Why the hell would they think? Why the hell do we need it? It's like I secretly think the elites of the world, they've been wanting Scotland to break up, right? Because it'd make England even more poorer. Not to mention it makes Scotland even more poorer because we're fucking tied to you like a rock. As much as we like say we're tied to a rock. We may as well. We've effectively gotten married. We haven't. You go down, we go down. Effectively. So, do you think Northern Ireland should become part of join Ireland, or do you think it should stay and become an actual part of the UK?
I think people in Northern Ireland would rather stay part of the UK because
I think they would as well. Why do people hate Why do the Brits like Northern Ireland being part of the UK?
I think it's the divide in terms of religious denomination. In the south, there are the independent Catholics, and then in the north, there's the Protestant Unionists that want to be part of the UK.
But UK's always been diverse with religions. We've got fucking Jews in London and Scotland, for fuck's sake. In fact, we've probably got more Jews in Scotland than they have in fucking London. Like, we're one of the only countries as a safe haven for Jews. Because let's be real here, we never banned Jews. We never got rid of them. We kept them in the country. We didn't get rid of them. We didn't ban them like England. We always kept Jews. We were always a safe haven. I've always suspected that the Scottish kings had Jewish blood in them. There's higher Jewish percentage of Scots than people let on. But yeah, I've always suspected it. There's definitely Jews in Scotland. Because I've seen Jews. I've seen ascetic Jews, right? Orthodox Jews in Scotland. I've seen them with the hats. They're not public about it. They keep to themselves, like every country. Not to mention about Polish people that came here, right? You've got to suspect some of them are Jewish, right? You've got to suspect it.
I guess so.
Why the hell do they want? Why? Do you think we should? So, what do you think on immigration? Do you think?
Okay.
Do we think we need to go to the extreme to the point where we immigrate, get rid of everybody that came here the last 20 years legally, or do we go after everybody that came here illegally the last 20 years and get rid of them?
I think we should start off with those that came in illegally, and then depending on how much people that have contributed positively to the country, those that haven't contributed much to the UK economy, I think we would ask them to go some other country. It's just a suggestion for them to go somewhere else. I'm not
But what if they
against
consider
immigration.
themselves British? And effectively, and I hate to be the bearer of bad news, right? But some of these people that came here illegally, right? They have kids, right? They maybe some of them might even have 3 to 4 generations here, right?
That's a
I've
good
got relatives that came here before World War One, but I've also got blood ties. We're being born here from people that have been here longer than
That's a
this.
good point. However, if it hasn't been dealt with centuries or decades ago, I
But
think it's too late.
again, I'm one of these people that adapted and spoke English. And there are Polish people, right? There are people from this country that do speak our language. They do talk our language. They do speak our language. They do have conversations in their own language, some now and again, which I'm fine with. I'm completely fine with that. You want to do
I
that?
agree, yeah,
Fine.
I'm fine with that as well.
I'm fine with that as well. But if you're come to live in this country, I think you should speak English. I think that should be a mandatory requirement. If you to actually get British citizen, you have to speak English.
Yeah, that's at least the broad expectation for
Minimum.
foreigners coming in.
You don't have to speak it when you're you don't have to speak it when you're in your own household, right? But again, if you don't, you're teaching your kid to be a fucking outsider. We're always going to think, oh, you're an outsider, so you're an outsider, Ben. Doesn't mean we hate you, but you're an outsider. People from India, there's people from India, people that are born British, people that are in this country is very diverse. As much as I hate to say it, it's very diverse. There's people from there's British Indians, there's British Chinese, there's British Canadians, there's people from Singapore, there's from Malaysia. You've got to realise we held so many states, right? So many countries. You don't think some of their relatives came to London, came to the UK to live after living Britain after they became after leaving?
Now begs the question,
There's a
what
lot of
is
Indians.
British
Do we give
culture?
everybody after this point? At what point do we end it? Do we say this? We own 90% of the world, right? At what point do we give up and say like, we say there's a limit to how much we're willing to accept? Because legally, if they go back far enough, most people have got a claim to British lands. Not a claim to British lands, but they have a claim to British citizenship, right? Americans, if you go back further enough, you could probably rustle up a British citizenship. Same with Irish, same with Scotland, same with Germany in certain aspects, and French. If you look at some of the people in New Orleans, right, if you go further enough back, you could effectively they could get French citizenship. Or if you go further back in Australia with Alaska, you could probably get Russian citizenship. Where does it end? Or if you came from Canada, Malaysia, or Singapore. I like Singapore. It's a nice country. I like them.
Yeah, sure is.
They actually, one of the people said, look, fuck using our own languages. We're going to speak in English because that's the way the language everybody else talks in. Fuck using our own language. We're speaking English. Or the guy from Singapore actually built Singapore into a massive economic hub. But yeah, so what happens? Do you think anything bad will happen after COVID? Do you think there'll be another lockdown?
Apparently, it's likely there will be another lockdown.
When?
Keep in mind, 2025.
That when during Trump's presidency?
Well, how do we know it's not going to be Trump? What if it's Kamala Harris? Anything
Even you
happens.
and me both know there's going to be civil war in America if that happens. You really think Republicans are going to allow that? You
They're
really
gonna
think
have an
Democrats
outrage.
are going to accept Trump being elected, right? If Trump gets elected, right, Democrats are going to fucking secede. If Republicans get elected, if Kamala gets elected, Republicans will secede.
Well, someone's gonna get mad, that's for sure. Just like that. Someone's interfering with risk connection. Oh boy. Man, we're on to something. And I know a lot of people are gonna agree with this. However, I'd rather tell. And he's out of the studio. Alright. Well, that was an interesting episode. So much for being looked upon, spying, and what goes on in the world. Wow, that's crazy. And of course, I actually do know people who may not agree with views of risk and what I've seen in the world. However, there has to be a balance. Something I would have said to risk while he's talking. We may not agree, we may not like what's around us or what's been said. However, to go through life with ease, we have to go through the hardships. we have to deal with the challenges. Once we've coped and we've handled these challenges, we can continue with life with ease. Now, it's going to happen again, but it's only developing us to be more resilient and durable for what is to come for the future. So yeah, mark your calendars, guys. 2025. Don't know which month, let alone day. However, I do not like where this is going. And yeah, until next time, I don't know anymore.